Hello artistic adventurers and welcome back to Sketch Quest. We here at TYG have teamed up with some incredible artists to bring you this series of tips to help you start your adventure right. But before we can leave Tutorial Island, we need to brush up on a few skills. And don't worry if you're just starting out, because I'll be learning alongside you. And don't forget to use the hashtag SketchQuest so you can share your results with us. Let's see what today's quest is, shall we? We are back with VTuber artist, illustrator extraordinaire, J.L.P. How are you doing, Precious?
I'm doing good, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming back. What is our quest today?
So today I'm going to be teaching you guys simple ways to break down the planes of the face. So I know when we're moving on to the planes of the face, things get a bit more complicated, so I wanted to be able to make this an easy, more simple way to be able to understand them before we start looking at things like the Asaro head, which is a bit more complex. So the way I like to break down the planes of the face is using our face model here. The first thing I like to do is identify where the cheekbones of the face are. So you can see here in red, I've just gone down and connected the cheekbones here. For me, this just gives a really simple guide on where the dark shadow should be. A good way to be able to tell where the cheekbone should be, usually it is where the chin is here, where it connects to the mouth. And usually they connect around the top of the ear here. That's how I like to do it. So if we take the face and we divide it here like this, we can get where our cheekbone should be. Like that. The next things we're eventually going to get here, and I know this looks really complex, so let me just break it down into a bit more of a sizable amount to understand. So the next part I like to do once we've got our chin is I like to connect parts of the nose and nostrils here to the sides we just made on the chin. You can see here, this is where your cheeks actually sit. So sometimes we have a little shading under here for the cheeks when we're drawing. The reason why it's really important to be able to break down the planes of the face is mainly for our shading. So in the last episodes, I was teaching like how to draw all the elements of the face, and you might have noticed like I included things like we're going to put a highlight here, maybe a shadow here, and you might have wondered why. And this is explaining why I did that and how we can shade the face better. So after we have broken down where the cheeks are here, I like to be able to define the forehead. So I usually take the end of the eyebrow and just do a straight line up like so. You sometimes see this line if you draw a face. For example, we can draw it sideways here. That same line there that's used to kind of connect. And we can do it here at the front as well. So that's how that line should kind of be. For the sake of simplicity, I'm not going to draw it the full way down. I'm just going to draw it from the eyebrow upwards, like so. And then I like to do this little half circle on the forehead here. This is because on this part, this is where your light source mainly is going to be, on your the highlight there. And then I like to just connect the eyebrows. We're going to make them into a monobrow here. And then we can kind of add like glasses, like so. So we're going to do glasses around the eyes. And then we're going to connect them at the bottom, similar to glasses like so. And then when we're done, we've got this kind of funky looking shape here. So this is how I would kind of break down the Asara head in a more easy, digestible form. So the reason we've done this is it's going to show us where our shadow should go on the face. So the first thing we can do is color in behind the line art, just a solid color for our skin here. You can do this any color you want. If you want to do a skin color, you can do. I'm just doing it grey for this example.
I'm gonna have to multiply
If for whatever
it.
reason, yeah, if I was gonna say, if for whatever reason you can't draw, then draw it underneath the layer. You can always go on and multiply the layer, like so. For me, I like to start with my shadows. I just find the shadows easiest to block in. So we're gonna take the darkest points of the face here and color those in. So the darkest points of the face, we can now see quite clearly, are going to be the sides here at the temple, the cheekbones, a little bit under the nose, a little bit around the chin here, and these like eye socket areas that we've just created with the glasses. And then we can add the highlights. So we can see the highlights are mainly in the center of the face here. So you want the forehead circle we've made to be a highlight. You're going to do this with a lighter color than the skin color we used. We want the triangle for the nose to be a highlight. And these are a few extras, but I just like to include them in my own artwork. I like to put little triangles near the tear ducts of the eyes. I think they just help them stand out. I like to include one at the Cupid's bow here. And I like to put a little bit on the chin. And once we've done that, we can then just balance it out and put sort of a medium. We can make it darker. I like it just to be a little darker than the skin tone here, just to give it a little bit more depth. And we need that on the little monobrow part that we have created here, and that little heart that we have created under the nose here. And that just helps to give our face more depth. So then we can remove our guidelines, and you will be able to see that we've drawn some really great shadows for the face. And it gives us a really good place to begin shading. And we can see everything harmonizes a bit more. So if you want from here, you can start blurring it together, or you can mess around with the colors, see which ones work for you. I think I might mess around with the colors actually. I'm tempted to try and make it like a skin tone now and see how that would work. Like if we... It's a good medium skin tone. I'll do light. Quite an extreme color palette, I guess. But you can see now how we can take each part and just separate it. Oh, there we go. And let me color pick it there for our last layer. And there we go, and that's would be a good base to be able to blend our colors together and work on the overall face planes before we started looking into the details. So that's how I would go about drawing the face planes in a more simplistic way. I find this is very, very handy for working out where the shadow should be. You can also do this on any perspective as well. If you wanted to draw a side profile, you can take the same face planes and apply it there. Draw the glasses on. Things like that. I think it's about sometimes just making things as simple for yourself as possible. In the next episode, we'll go over the Asaro head, which is the same concept but in a lot more detail. So before moving on to the next episode, make sure that you're comfortable with the face planes from this one. So today's quest is to study the face planes in a simplistic form, get comfortable drawing them, and practice drawing them at different angles.
And remember to use the hashtag SketchQuest when you share your creations with us online. Thank you very much for joining us again, JLP.
Thank you for having me.
Remember to give JLP a follow on all the social medias. We will be back tomorrow. Until then, we'll see you later, titters. Bye.
Bye.